Good day, beautiful people. Good day. All right. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to jump in. Tammy says, hey, everybody. Good morning. Today, we're having a marvelous day because we are going to give you a lot of information in 1 hour with some amazing people. We have a bunch of good, wonderful, amazing announcements. And I just want to make sure that you are privy to all of the goodness. So I am going to share my screen so that this way you guys can get on into it. And we're going to talk about what we do with our Be in the Ecosystem virtual summit. So every month we do, and it's really a virtual meetup, but every month what we do is we have a membership called Give It, Get It Business Membership. And my company is called Give It to the People. So we curate conferences and trainings and all of the good things for entrepreneurs and ecosystem builders, all of our business service organizations that are throughout the state of North Carolina. And we do go outside of North Carolina, but that's where our major focus is. And with these particular events, we always want to bring awareness to business owners, specifically because there's a lot of nonsense out there online, but there's a lot of things that people do try to charge you for that maybe are free, that maybe they don't give you those resources. But then as a business service organization, there may be some things that you want to let people know about, but you're really only focused in your area. So what we do with our membership is it is statewide for North Carolina, and we bring on every month some marvelous people that will help you understand what you need to know about business, what is happening currently, so that this way it's not something where it's like, okay, well, this is a business class and this is going back to Napoleon Hill days. No, this is current. This is what's happening right now in business, things that you need to know, and things that you can also travel to, because a lot of times I like to say, you got to get those cheeks out of the seat sometime. And that means that you actually have to go to some other places. So with that membership, what we do is we try to offer people an opportunity to be able to join for free so that there is no barrier to entry. So you can't say, okay, well, I don't have money. Okay, well, that's fine that you don't have money. Well, it's not fine that you don't have money, but the thing is that we want to help you get to that. So part of what we do with the membership is we try to make sure that we focus on two major things, which are marketing and money. Today, I have the pleasure, and let me tell you something, me and this gentleman have been going back and forth for a long time. He was supposed to be on the show a long time ago, but sometimes things just happen at the perfect time when they're supposed to. So today, I'm going to be bringing on Kareem Canston, and I'm going to put a link up there, but I was like, let me see what he wanted to promote first. But he is going to be one of our key people that are speaking today, because Kareem does a lot of different training across the state. You can hire him if you need him to come be a speaker for you. But one of the things that I think that he does that might be unique is he helps people with grants. And oftentimes, I am always the first person to tell a business owner, do not think that you're just going to run out there and go ahead and get a grant, okay? And I tell them this, so I want to see what Kareem's take on this is. You need to be doing the work that you're supposed to be doing, whether you get the grant or not. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm just going to do such and such when I get the grant. And, I've had that happen to me, where, you thought you were going to get something and it didn't happen. But that didn't mean that I didn't do the thing. That meant that I just kept on doing the work, and maybe I changed it because I didn't get the grant money. But at the same time, I think that people need to understand, that it's kind of like, what are you actually doing that you're worthy of getting the grant? So you're not going to do it if you don't get the money. Like sometimes I think that that's one of those things that to me is a misconstrued thing, especially with people in business. Okay. So whether you're a for-profit or a nonprofit, still do the work that is necessary. Okay. So I wanted that to be how we bring in Kareem. So Kareem, welcome to the stage today. How are you, darling?
Hello. Chisa, how
Hey.
you doing? What's up? Give it to the people, folks.
Yay. So, okay, first off, do you agree with what I just said?
I agree. I do.
Yes. Now, talk to them about your business, and then I definitely want to get into some of the things that you do help people with, as far as and I mean, I know the answers to these, but do you write the grants for them? Are you doing stuff with them? And what's coming up specifically with you?
So what I love to call myself is a business strategy
Mhm.
coach, and helping people strategize around how they can actually grow their business with a strategy, with actually looking at how you actually obtain business grants for your business to reduce some of your expenses that you have to pay out of your pocket. Kind of, like hiring or the equipment or startup costs for your business also.
Okay. And so with that, that's the questions that I said that people are going to say, okay, are you going to do it for me? Or is this something I need to do with you? Can I learn the skills of the master so that I can get a grant? But if you could just kind of fill people in on what that would be for them, if they're saying, listen, I am not well versed in this, maybe I need to take a class, or I want to learn to do it myself. Or you have the people that are just like, listen, I don't have the time to do that. Just go ahead, find me the money. Can you please help me and send me the grant once it's done? So can you give them a little bit of background on that?
Yeah, so let me explain it this way. So we have a couple of people, people that want somebody to do it for you, people that want to find and learn how to do grants themselves, and there's people that just need some pushing or some coaching. And so what I tell people is that if you want somebody to do it yourself, it's like going and getting your car fixed, and you're not going to do anything to get that car fixed. You're going to have to pay top dollar, right, to get your vehicle fixed. Now, if you go buy the brake pads or the stuff, you bought that product. Now you're bringing it to someone and they're paying for your services. So I tell people, have in mind what you're looking for help for. Then it could help the person that's trying to strategize around with you on what they can do, right? So I worked with a person a couple of weeks ago. They just wanted me to search for grants, send it to them, and they apply for it. I have someone else that I work with in the state of Rhode Island that I filled out the entire grant process for them because they didn't have the time or the effort to do it. And then there's some people I work with them together to do that to actually obtain some, applying for grants also. So really, it really depends. But I tell people this: you have to be involved no matter what. It's your business. It's not mine's, and you have to get involved also.
No, and that's great because I mean, I know that it can run the gamut as far as what people need. And so when we're talking about business grants, is there an industry that you are more focused on, one over the other? Or is it just like, listen, come tell me what your business is and we can find something that's applicable for you?
So I would say I'm open to any type of industry, but I do like to work with people that are going to be working with the team and hiring and training employees, because some of those people, it's much easier to find a business grant that's usually ongoing. Um, there's grants that have deadlines. There's grants that have an open process, and they give out grants all the time. So, like, I work on a project here in Wake County where they're actually helping startup businesses to get grants, and it's an open process. There's no deadline to it. It doesn't come out once a year. Yes, they have an expiration date next year of using all the grant funds, but it really depends. And so people need to be specific. That's why I like to do roadmaps. Let's do a business roadmap first, see what you're trying to do with your business, and let's see if there's an opportunity to obtain business grants for what you're doing, or maybe it's additional funding. Maybe it's going to a broker or something like our friend Corey and getting some help. So it really depends. People, we have to know your strategy before we can actually know where you want to end up.
Okay. And that's an important factor because the thing is that what people will come to you, I want money. Give me money. Right. And that's like, for what? What do you need it for? How's it going to be spent? How's this going to benefit you? But I think a lot of times people miss the fact of, based on what the grant is, are you going to be in alignment with what their objectives are also? So a lot of times people look at, well, I just want money, give me money, right? But the grant people that are giving away this money want you to accomplish something, right?
Yes.
And so would you suggest that a person still go after a grant if whatever they do is not completely aligned with it, but maybe they do part of whatever that thing is? Or would you say, listen, get completely aligned with it, and that's where you build that team of people, and then maybe you guys go after the grant together?
So this is what I say to people: if you're not in the business of asking, then you're not going to receive. And so,
You know that.
yeah. And so what happens is that, I'll give you a couple examples.
Mm-hmm.
All right, somebody applied for a grant, I didn't get it, so I'm gonna give up, right? Oh, I heard my friend apply for a grant, they didn't get it, so they just don't even apply. Or why would they give me a grant? Why would they help me out? Or is there something to it? You hear that a lot of times, especially from folks that look like us. Yep.
Skeptical people, we'll call them.
Yeah, skeptical people. What information are they gonna ask of me? So this is what I tell people. Just imagine you could take an expense that you currently have and somebody else could pay for it. Wouldn't that be nice for your business? Wouldn't it be nice for somebody to pay for a payroll for an employee? Wouldn't it be nice for somebody to cover a piece of equipment? Wouldn't it be nice to have somebody cover training or help you for startup costs? So be thinking about that and how there might be an opportunity to help you out, because then whatever you do could drop down to the bottom line, get to help you to help you grow your business even faster.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's a really great perspective to think about it, because essentially now, listen, I know we need to buy these things. I know we need to pay this person. And so, I always use just one of my favorite C words, which is capacity. So if you really don't have the capacity to do this and you needed to hire somebody, and that's one thing that you may be able to spend it on. But I also want people to just understand that you also need to typically, not all the time, but report back on what the people were giving you. So when they said, okay, we're going to give you this amount of money, they also want to see one of my favorite I words, which is impact. Did you do the things that you said that you were going to do? Right. And so when we're looking at that, can you give a person who's like, listen, I've never applied for a grant before, and I want to talk to you, Kareem, because I know I don't want to do it, or I need help. What are some of the things that a person can look for that they can be doing in advance that would then show impact, so that when they do start to apply for a grant, from a strategy perspective, that they do have some of those things in alignment?
Yes. So one of the things, I told you about my story. So I own a food franchise. And we usually sometimes use grants when we hire and train full-time people that work over 30 hours, full-time employees, if we can. And so we just have to make sure that the position is eligible, and then the person is eligible for the grant, right? And so people say, how does it help you as a business owner? Well, one, if I hire people, especially I'm in an industry where our turnover could be 200% in a 12-month period, right? It's no joke. So if I could help myself reduce the expense of training and hiring an employee, and then also that employee can get resources, why wouldn't I do that? Now, it might take some time to do that. And then also we've used a hiring training grant. So I tell people, look at the eligibility of the funder. And then if you align with the funder, then you apply. Now, if you're not aligned with the funder, like for instance, if you are a retail store, but the grantor wants to give it to an online business, then it probably doesn't make any sense to apply for that one. But I do tell people, reach out to the people that's in charge. If there's a phone number, if there's an email, call them up and say, hey, how you doing? This is who I am. I would like to ask you questions about the grant that you have. Do you think my business might be eligible for it? Or maybe you're a startup and maybe you want to ask them, maybe I might be eligible for it, and they'll go through the process with you.
No, those are some good points. And you just made me think about some other stuff that I'm like, just based off of what you're saying. And it goes always back to what we talk about, which is the relationship building. I have seen with my own eyes, even though, people don't necessarily say it, people that are more friendly, and I'm going to use that word in quotations, right? With some of the people that are maybe on the grant committee. and they'll give you some inside tips, right?
Yes.
Or, they already know what you're doing. They're familiar with your business. And so that gives you a little bit more push to be able to get access to those grant fundings, as opposed to somebody else who they just don't know, who just walked in off the street. And so just kind of seeing what's happening. Now, you can't do that with all of the grants because there are so many things that are online. So on the membership, what we started doing is we always sent emails, but we also started putting some of those grants up on our blog posts. So you can go there and you can kind of find out about some things that are general in nature, that you can apply for, that are within the course of this month, and just see like, okay, well, what are some of those things that I need to do? But there is a question that was posed that says, you talked about getting a grant, but what are some good tips after you receive the grants so that people don't make common mistakes? Because people are going to just do the same thing over and over again and say, oh, well, I didn't get a grant, but it may be something that you put in there that is, that's the reason why you didn't get a grant. So what would some of those common mistakes be, maybe even beforehand and after people receive the grant?
I would say one, well, we got this big thing called AI, right? Artificial intelligence that is happening nowadays. Very helpful, right? To use it to apply for grants. What happens, and I've seen it and I heard from people are not going in and doing the scrubbing. I call it scrubbing, editing, right, of the information. And so what happens is that you just copy and pasting, and people are like, that's not you writing a grant, because there's certain ways that the artificial intelligence software puts text together. And so if you don't go and edit that stuff, they're gonna already know they're just gonna kick you out, right? And so what you need to go and edit that information, make it personal, and have somebody else read it, and actually take a look at it. The other thing people should be thinking about is, what if I get this grant? Sometimes a grant might not be money; it might be they provide a service for you. Like somebody might pay for a legal service for you for your business. They might pay for training or mentoring. So I tell people, make sure when you receive the grant, then you stay in communication, keep the right documentation, so you can actually continue to do it and do it again even more. So, and I would just replicate the process if you can.
Okay. I mean, I think those are some good things. So in the state, I just want to make people aware, NC IDEA is probably one of the largest funders in regards to giving funds to businesses. They do have a micro grant program that is what you said, that's open, that's year round, that you can apply to. That's more so for a programming kind of thing, but you can apply to that. And then you do have to have your event, if you're going to apply, 60 days out. Okay. And I'm just saying that because we've received that grant numerous times. And so when you talk about kind of recycling the process, one time we didn't receive exactly what we asked for. They gave us half of what we asked for. But I think it was also in the duration of time before the event, that we actually asked for it. Maybe if we had asked for it months in advance. So I'm always a big proponent of 90 days at a minimum, even though they say 60. But if you're having something in this next year, you can apply now. You know what I mean? Because NC IDEA, that thing is a rolling one. But then they also have programs that are a $10,000 and a $50,000 that they give out each year. But you need to pay attention to the types of businesses that they give out the funding to, and if your business fits within the constraints, right? So like, for instance, the $50,000 one that they give, they're really looking more at tech-based businesses, and they want your business to be able to scale to a certain point in a certain time frame. If you can't scale right now, are you going to scale in that time frame? It's no need for you to apply for that. And that may be where you need to go for a smaller amount and then try to build and then see what you can get. But I have seen people that have been able to get the $10,000 one, and then they were able to get the $50,000 one, but it's also the nature of their business. So can you give us maybe like one resource of where people could go to even look for grants? And I'm not trying to take your secret sauce or anything, but where's one place I can go to at least look for grants? Because in my opinion, when I'm looking, I just want to see like what's out there.
That's right. So I'm gonna drop this. I think I'm on the YouTube.
Type it in the YouTube so the YouTube people can see it, but you can say it too.
Hello Skip is, I tell people it's a good place to start. And so the reason why Hello Skip is that they give out, I think, 2 grants a week. And you sign up for free. All right, listen to me, y'all. Sign up for free and look at the information that they have. Apply for the grants that they have for free. They will start asking you to pay a higher premium so they can help you fill in the grants even faster. Now, you can do that, but I say try it out for free first, right? Because usually people that how can I say it? Entrepreneurs, I'm going to say entrepreneurs, business people, they are always skeptical about paying for something they don't know if it works. So try it for free, see if it works. When they post grants that is not in their system, that database, go and copy that grant name and then paste it into Google and then go to the main page of that grantor. Right. And so, but the other thing you got to understand, no one's going to give you anything for free unless they really like you. And a lot of people are looking for people to do stuff for free, but they don't want to do the work. Like,
come on, instance, sir. Come on.
Right? If I'm helping you write and apply and find grants, you have to do your part. You have your EIN number. You know your business. You know what, like, I don't know things about your business. So you have to do your part. Right. And so I've stopped working on a percentage basis when I'm working with people because people weren't doing their part. I would do so much work for them. And then we get to a point where they're not doing their part. So now I can't apply for a grant for them. I can't do certain stuff. So now I've gotten rid of that. So when I work with people, there's a standard consultant fee, and that's it. And if you get the grant or not, oh well. But because I get approached a lot of people like, hey, when you get the grant, when we get the grant, I'll give you a payment. Well, if you don't do the stuff that needs to get done for the grant, then guess what? I'm not going to receive my payment. So right now it's like, hey, I'm spending my time. There's a payment that has to be made. So you have to do the stuff for your business. No one's going to run your business for you unless you're going to pay them to do that. I own a franchise and is open 7 days a week. I have employees, and most of the time the employees are running the business for me.
Kareem, say the magic words, pay me. See, this is the thing. And I think that, now, mind you, I'm going to say this. The average person doesn't have money to have an in-house grant writer, right? So I want people to think about it like this, just to give you a real life example. Colleges and universities have people whose job it is to find them money, but they pay those people to find them money to then, which technically subsidizes their own salary, if you really want to be real about it, right? To find them money for whatever programs and things that are happening, so that this way the college stays in existence. They don't have to pay for certain things, and then it covers whatever that particular grant covers. And so, even in a situation that I've had, there was a thing that was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and we'll pay you when the grant comes. So I was just like, absolutely not. Like, that doesn't work, because what if you don't get the grant, right?
That's right.
And it's not a guarantee that you're going to get the grant unless I'm giving you the grant. Like, I know you're going to get it because I'm going to give it to you. And that doesn't happen, right? So just looking at the fact that this is a service that people need to pay for, and more so if you do not want to do the work. But Kareem cannot do his job unless you have your stuff together. So this is where I use my phrase, you got to have your paperwork to make the paperwork, because you can't just randomly go just make up figures and facts and things like that. There are information pieces. So whether that's statistics, whether that's history or whatever, you need to make sure that you have some stuff together. So tell us what is happening. Do you have something coming up? And if you don't, we're going to put something together that people can come to, because all of this leads into something, right?
Yes.
We love doing things, but I think this is an important factor where businesses need to consider alternate avenues for funding for their business. But is there something specific coming up in relation to the grant writing that you want people to come to? Or is it cool if people just do this? And hold up, wrong one. Where are we? I have one up here. Oh, hold on. I'm messing up. I had a whole little segue that I was about to do, and that didn't work. because yeah, it wasn't up. All right, so let's go back here and let's blow this back up. So that is going to take you to his website so you can communicate with Kareem. So there's the information. But is there anything coming up that you want people to know, to contact you about, or anything like that?
Yeah, so I put in the YouTube chat. You could tap into a free ebook that I have. I have a community where I share information with people about grants. And if people just want to set up a quick 15-minute connect meeting with me, I'll connect with them and share some information. So
okay. Now, can you type that back into the chat again, because I'm not seeing what you posted into the chat?
All right, I will put that back.
Just do it one more time, because then what I'll do really quickly is I'll copy it, and then I'll put it so our people that are watching too, they can go ahead and they can see the link for what they need. But can they also access information, like if they go to your website?
They go to my website. You could join me on, what is it? Google me. Set up a meeting. My Calendly is up there. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. So
all the things. Okay. And that's wonderful. So I want to thank you for being on today, because I know that people, I think if we can prepare people to be better clients, that is one of the things that I'm a big proponent of, because, the biggest thing is as LaShawn would like to say, you don't know what you don't know. But at the same time, it's a lot of stuff that people do know. A lot of stuff, people, but you need to have it ready when it comes to working with that professional, so that this way your meeting time is less, it's more productive, and then people can get right to the meat and potatoes of what they actually need. And especially if you're interested in being able to hire Kareem, then that's definitely something that you need to take into consideration. And that's a point. Now, there was also a point that said, a lot of grant writers do a flat rate to complete the grant proposal, because they did the work, and the selection process is not controlled by them, and it cannot be edited for another grant. So that may be something. But I think that once you start to get into this field, you can really start to see how you can be better, because the thing is too, take into consideration, ask them, if you do get the opportunity, why didn't they approve your grant? Like, what didn't happen? Like, follow up. So if you could give a person another follow-up tip, just for, I'm thinking about doing a grant, I wrote a grant, I want to work with you, what would the final tip be that you could help people with?
Yeah, so I was gonna share this stat. So grantwatch.com is a database people pay for and they use it. They say business grants, out of applying for 20 to 25 business grants, usually you would get approved for anywhere from 10 to 20%. So if you apply for 10 business grant applications, you probably might win one. What happens is that people stop at 1, stop at 2, stop at 3, and then they don't see the results, so they get upset. You need to be in the business of applying for many to receive a good percentage of a yes. The other thing you need to do, you need to be marketing your business. Just like you market your product or your services, get on the phone and call the grantors, introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, because the more times they see your name, they be like, oh, I know this person. They reached out to me. They called me. They asked me questions. They got up on the call, blah, blah. But if you're not doing that, guess what? The people are going to see your name and say, I don't know what this business is. I don't know who they are. And then they just move that application along. But if you have a relationship with them, like I have a relationship with a grantor that I received 6 grants from already, I walk in their office when I need help. I give them a call. I shoot them an email. And sometimes I bring a piece of pizza.
Bring snacks. Come on.
And feed them, right? So they remember who I am.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, that's good advice. I do snacks, and snacks, they always remember snacks, right? That is really a good thing. So, but that's great information, because, the thing is, if you can do it, somebody else can do it. And I think that just being a person that has a business that is doing things in order to increase their capacity, that means maybe you don't need a loan. It doesn't say don't get a loan, but it may be that, listen, I have to pay that loan back. With this grant, I don't have to worry about paying that back. And so that is important information, but just things for people to consider. So I want to thank you so much for being on today, because I think you dropped some good stuff. We're still going to talk, because I feel like Y'all probably need a class. I feel like Kareem needs to come. We need to do something in person together, and really just kind of dig into some things. And I feel like we all need some more money. So if we can improve our chances by having somebody that's already done it, somebody that, he just stunted on y'all. Y'all didn't even realize he was like, first of all, I got 6 grants and I'm walking into the office, right? Like, I love that. But it just shows that, what you're doing is working. And I like the way that you're using it as well. And we're going to touch a little bit on that, what you talked about in relation to hiring people a little bit later on today. So again, thank you so much for being on today. You're more than welcome to stay on. I'm going to pop you off and we're going to go to our next little thing that we have coming up though. So everybody, I know you heard what he just said, and now is a great time for you to consider the word that he used. He said strategy, okay? And what I know is for a lot of our businesses, guess what? You don't have a strategy. You're just throwing stuff up there willy-nilly. But let me tell you something. So our membership, first of all, she's been here since the beginning. She's been here since before the inception. So I don't know if you have heard that phrase, what is it? The baby is the grandma. That's like don't worry about that. That's a very social media phrase. That's a very pop culture phrase. If you don't know that, don't worry about it. But it refers to, just the connection that you have to certain things. And this person is more than connected to the Give It, Get It business membership. And I want you to put your hands together, even if it's your virtual hands. You can say yay in the comments, because I'm going to pop something up on the screen for you guys to be able to see. And then I'm going to bring the person on. Okay. Let me see if my little stuff is working properly, which it looks like it's doing its own thing like it wants to. All right. So this person right here, I know y'all know her, the one and only LaShawn A. Harley. Now, let me tell you something. She does not like to toot her own horn, but it doesn't matter because I do it all the time. And she does it in reverse, right? Like, so we here, reverse, like we give each other compliments and everything, because when you have people in your life that are great at what they do, it makes a difference in how you see things and how you do things. And so I say this almost every one of these. I talk to her way too much. And I say it in the most loving way. I want you to understand, because the thing is, if you're a real entrepreneur, you have ideas that run through your head all the time, and you need somebody to help you with that. But LaShawn is officially our official business coach for the Give It, Get It business membership. Okay, so now let me tell you what happened. What had happened was, all right, I'm gonna add her to the stage, and then we're gonna bring her face on so you can see the whole face. We've been talking about, like, what can we do to expand? What can we do to make things easier and better for people? And LaShawn is a giver. Okay, so when it says give it, get it, she is a giver. When it says, give it to the people, she is a give it to the people type person. And so that servant leadership that she has led her to say, listen, I'm going to give something special to the members of the Give It, Get It business membership. So she has cut her rate only for members, okay? Basically almost in half, just for our members, so that this way you guys can get the access to the resources that you need. Okay, come on now. Come on, Tammy. So I love this because it was like, well, what can we do? And she was like, well, this is something that I'm willing to give and something that I'm willing to do. So just like we talked about with Kareem, you have to pay, okay? We cannot be out here just coaching people for free. LaShawn is amazing at coaching and getting to the root of the thing. So LaShawn, ta-da, it is your stage now. Can you talk to them a little bit about what you're going to provide in this business coaching in this 1 hour? Now, you can book more than 1 hour if you want to, but in 1 hour, what can people expect to get from you with the Give It, Get It business coaching?
So one thing is that for those who would like to, it'll be in person. So that was one of the things that we heard a lot of folks say they want to be in person. So I'm going to be in North Carolina the week of the 22nd. So I'll be offering in person, but that doesn't mean that if you're not there in the triangle, I can't meet with you in person. I can still do it virtually. The main thing is I'm going to listen. I'm not going to try to get you to do what I think you should do. I'm going to listen for what you want to do and then help to give you different options and strategies to do that, which is a hard thing I've been finding with a lot of coaches and mentors, because I've experienced it myself. Well, this is the way I've done it, so you do it it can't exactly be the way they've done it because we're not doing the same thing. We're not the same people, and we're not going after the same customer base for the same reason. Our visions may be different. So that's another thing. And then a lot of people tell me I give a lot of information in my, even from 15 minutes to an hour, that some people take a month to give them. So I'm going to get right down to the nitty gritty, and I'm going to give you different options, and then we're going to work it together. So I want to make sure that you feel that you've been heard, that you've been seen, that you've been understood, so then that we can manage you and navigate you to the right direction for where you need to go to get what you want to be done. However, I am going to do it with the mindset. I'm going to be looking at it that it was viable, fundable, which means that you've got some net positive funding that's coming in, and sustainable. If it's not those three things, then it's problematic, because I'm not a checkbox person. So it's not about me, check, I met with you, check, I told you to do it. But you're going to leave with homework and things to do. And I'll say this as a big thing to wrap up. If you're an organized person, who's what we call the organizer, they tend to be the people that say, I give them a lot of information. You're not the organizer. I give them a lot of information, and it takes them a moment to sit back after they meet with me to really digest the information I've given them, because there's quite a bit of information. They need to see it. So they're going to be the ones that are going to take a break after they meet with me. Now, the action go-getters, the one that they're the ones that as soon as they finish talking to me, they actually go and do stuff. I had one young lady, everybody said to me that she was hyper. And I was like, okay. And I met with her. And sure enough, she was hyper. She said, I got her so fired up. 2 days later, I got 12 documents that she had worked on because she got fired up. It's no right or wrong. It's just how you process things. So those people who are what we call the action oriented, to go get things done, they're going to try to do things. It's not going to be perfect, but they're going to be the ones that go into action. It's going to spark you real fast. While the organizers tend to be the ones that I need to sit, decipher what you've given me, and see where I want it to be for their spark to be lit. So I do want to say that to people. Know your personality. It fits in a different way, what you're going to do exactly after. But everybody leaves with something to do.
So this is important because, number one, I'm gonna say this because I want you to understand why this is so valuable with this membership. And I think a lot of times I'm going to tell people exactly how I feel about this. So there are programs that are out there where you can get coaching for free. There are services out there where you can get coaching for free. Okay. So I'm going to use two specific examples, and both of these LaShawn has been intertwined with, and so have I, in a one way or another. So if you go to the Small Business Center Network, you can get coaching. But what I need you to understand is that that may not be immediate. It may not be that day. So you're going to put in a request, and then they're going to match you up with somebody. And then, hopefully that person can do what you need them to do. They're probably going to match you up with a person who may be more of one subject matter expert. Nothing wrong with that, because if you still get what you need, then that's cool. However, LaShawn has already been a director of Small Business Center, specifically here in Durham. So she was the person that was matching you up with other people. So she understands that. LaShawn is John Maxwell certified. She is Real certified. She is Ice House certified. How many more certifications do we need to go up in here? She's certified. Okay. So her perspective on things, and not only that, people don't know all the time because she doesn't advertise this. She's also a lawyer. So the way that she thinks of things is going to be a legal aspect. It's going to be a aspect that's like, let me really, like she said, listen to you and see what you want to do, and then guide you along that path. Now, if you need more, then you go ahead and you get more. Okay. And that just means just kind of like if you were to go to the arcade and, once your time runs out, go ahead and put another quarter in there. Okay. Okay. Put some more quarters inside the arcade and you'll continue to get more. But what I'm going to promise you, okay, is that in an hour, you will get enough homework to do to where, like she said, you'll be fired up. Or even if your fire is high, but you're like, I got to simmer the fire down to focus on, okay, well, let me see what she said and really take that in. So if that means that you are saying, listen, I need to meet with her once a week and you're willing to do that, then do that. If that means that you just said, listen, this one is good and then you can do that. But what I know is that when you pay for services, hopefully you are more in tune with, I'm not going to waste my money. And I'm also going to do the things that I've said, because I'm sure plenty of you have been to free services and you didn't really follow through. But once you put that money in there, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's more of a value. Now, even though the services are even worth more than what we're doing for the membership, she's chosen to give a discount, because I'm always the person that's like, don't give a discount. But she's chosen to give a discount because she believes in this membership, what it can do, and investing in you and your business. The other thing is, so you may say, well, if I'm in Durham, there is a program called E3. So that's why we're transparent. We're not going to try to nickel and dime you. E3 is a program that LaShawn is one of the, do they call it a coach? What do they call it over there? What do they call
service
it?
Providers. We're one of the providers. We're one of the providers. Mm-hmm.
But she has certain services that are a part of the E3 program. So this is where we have these good conversations, right? And we say, okay, there are things out there. And why would you go to that in comparison to something else? Now, you can get services at E3 for free, but you have to go through a process of attending so many events, gaining points. And then once you get those points, then you can utilize the service. So first of all, what if you don't have time to do that? Second of all, the program is ending next year. Third of all, what if the service that you need that she has listed there as a service provider is not exactly what you need, and you need her to pinpoint what you need today, okay? That's where the difference comes in. So even though you can go get those services at other places, and even with LaShawn for free, what do you need today? So we are a part of Med Week, all right, which is Minority Enterprise and Development Week with the City of Durham. And so we decided to launch this specifically during that time frame. So on the 21st of October, which is a Tuesday, she's going to be doing the counseling. You can book right now. I have the link across there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Durham in person. So what I'm saying to you is LaShawn doesn't even live in North Carolina, okay? Even though she may as well. She had like 2-3 different homes all over the place, okay? That's what happens when, you know, you're international, national, regional, everything, right? But she's going to be here in person in Durham, North Carolina from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so there is a space for you if you go ahead and you book your space now. And if you want to do more than 1 hour, you can do more than 1 hour. But I am suggesting to you, invest in yourself to do at least 1 hour on the day of October 21st, because what that's going to do is that's going to set you up for the rest of the year and going into 2026. Okay. So LaShawn, is there anything else you want to tell them specifically about anything that's going on with, you know, the coaching, why they should come or anything like that?
So the other thing, if some folks are not able to come, one other thing we have available that we'll be sending out is you could do what I call the online submission. Which is where you can actually pay it. There's a discount code for the Give It Get It group in the village, and where you'll be able to ask me a question, and then I will send you a video response within 48 hours. So some people may say, I don't really need the full hour. I just got one question. We also have that available, 15. So it's 3 different levels of that. But Chisa will be sending that information out for the link. I might add another day, but that's got to be very compelling. I do have another day that's available. And I will be doing a workshop on a couple of other days. They'll be on Eventbrite today. And I'll give the Give It Get It a discount. So Chisa, when she sends out the information, this is based upon the request. So I can let you all know one of them is about beliefs. People look for getting connected with people with the same values is going beyond morals and values, which is why people still have problems. So this is a good way of doing that.
Yes. So we're giving you multiple options that, first of all, you may not see. So I want you to understand and tap into what she just said. She said, listen, maybe you don't need the whole hour, or maybe your budget doesn't preclude that you can do the whole hour. She has smaller tidbits where you can ask that question. And then she will send you back a video response with that answer, and it is at a lower rate. Okay. So all of this is going to be on the Give It Get It business membership. I suggest you go ahead and you join now, giveitgetit.biz, so that this way you can get some of these benefits, because you cannot get them if you are not a member. All right. And mind you, when we say member, this is for the free and for the premium members, okay? Now, we have something special that we're getting ready to do, but I'm going to pause really quickly because we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you something else. And LaShawn, thank you so much for offering that, number one. And thank you for always being, one of the most supportive members that, that we definitely have. If we said founding member, godmama, whatever it is, all of those things fit into that description for the membership. So thank you so much. Okay. Now I want to let you know, we're kind of doing a slightly different format because we want to make sure that you know some of the things that are coming up, and those things are important. And feel free to always put questions or comments into the chat if you have those, so we can answer those as they come. I'm going to take LaShawn and myself off really quickly, but I'm going to give you a little something to think about. Sometimes you just have to breathe out, because as a business owner, you get overwhelmed. As even a business service provider, you're in a situation where you're still trying to help people. And this year has been one of those years where everything has gotten turned upside down. But I want you to know that there is a silver lining. And one of the silver linings is what we provide, which is the Give It, Get It business membership. So we came up with this concept of making sure that there was a hub for resources in the state of North Carolina. What we do is we make sure that you get your own account, you can list your social media, you can also list your events, you can get the opportunity to change our site into multiple languages so that this way it is compatible for you, and we want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. This is a game changer because sometimes you're looking all over the place to find events. You don't necessarily get people to send you the things that you really need so that you can stay in business. So whether you're talking about contracting or you're a product-based business and you're looking for places that you can vend, or if you're looking for wonderful networking events, that's what we provide, all of that. But we also make sure that we focus on money and marketing, which is what businesses need. So if you said, listen, I didn't know that this existed, now you do. And we have a free version for you, which is why you can go to giveitgetit.biz and get your free account, or you can get a premium account, which is going to give you some more benefits. Now, we also have an opportunity, if you're interested in being more of a sponsor, for you to have a higher level account for even your clients. So I just think that, we want to go into next year in a way that allows us to be as successful as possible. And what that means is that you need help. We all need a little bit of help, and this is why we build community, and this is why we have our theme of being the ecosystem. So if this sounds like something that's good to you, and it sounds like something that's good to me, then I suggest that you go ahead and you join giveitgetit.biz, because we are here to help your business give it to the people. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is one of our new videos that was done by one of our members, one of our premium members, 29th and 11th, and her name is Kristen Russell. Her and her husband Xavier have a marvelous business where they do video and they do photography. So they've done a lot of our stuff. You will see them again at our networking event that is coming up on October 22nd. That'll be back at the Durham Hotel. But we want to transition, and we're not going to talk long because we want to stay within our constraints. So there's a little thing happening right now called a government shutdown. And as horrible as it is, people are not getting access to the resources that they need. So what we decided to do as a part of Give It to the People and our Give It, Get It business membership was to make you a survival checklist. So this particular checklist is here for you to download. You can download it for free. You can also donate a little money if you feel like you want to do that. And we have some specific things that we want you to think about for your business so that this way you can still survive this government shutdown, but also that you can thrive, because the biggest thing is, regardless of what the government is doing, we still have our businesses. We still need to make money. So I want to bring LaShawn back on really quickly because I know she wanted to give like one tip, right, that we can talk to for our business owners to be able to have them to give an idea of something that they may not have thought about, but that they do need to think about specifically with this government shutdown and being able to make sure that their businesses are sustainable. So give us that tip, LaShawn.
Don't be married to the idea of what you set out for your business to do. Get married to the solution. Married to finding a solution to the problem. So whatever the problem is it, if it's still a problem or a problem you see, don't get married to the idea of what you have. Marry finding the solution and see what solution you can provide for those for people. Because if people still need it, people will find a way to get the resources to get it. and making sure it's again, viable, fundable, and sustainable. But don't stay married to your idea.
And see, that's some good stuff, because let me tell you, I have had to change the idea, not necessarily the goal, but just the idea. Like it's kind of like, all right, well, this is not working now. So let me just give you an example. If I said, okay, well, look, I want to make, let's just come up $10,000 a month. If I didn't get something, this contract didn't come through, that whatever didn't, I need to figure out another way to get to it. Okay. And if that means that, and this is really happened in real life, so I want you guys to know this, I'm telling you this from experience, things that I thought were going to happen, things that I planned, things that I was strategic about. And LaShawn, you see how she's nodding her head, that I just was like, oh, this is going to happen. It's going to work. It's going to do it. This is the year. And I need to blow us up so you can see the big heads. I was like, okay, boom. I knew things were going to happen. I planned, everything was in alignment, and things should have happened. Okay. Kareem and I had this conversation too. Stuff that should have happened. And so this is where I'm at now. We can't worry about what should have happened. We can only worry about what we do and how we react to the things now. So does that mean I'm not supposed to get money? No, it means I need to figure out another way to get money. Kareem typed in time to pivot. And so that's why I wanted to bring him on with the grants to start that out, to give you some positivity, because, you know, the biggest thing is that what can we do now? So I want to go back in, and I just want you guys to be able to see this again. Now, download the survival guide. Again, it's totally completely free. You can scan, but I wanted to let you know some of the things that are new with the membership. We've added some embeddable member badges that you can go to your platform on giveitgetit.biz, and then you can put that on your own website or whatever if you like. People now have QR codes that are uploaded. We also have affiliate referrals now. So this could be another small income. It's not financial money, but what we're doing is we're giving credits on the account. So this way, if you refer somebody and then they join, each of you now are going to get 10 credits. Okay. Those credits can be used toward whatever your price of your membership is if you decide to upload. And for our people, okay, who are like, listen, I was already a member, I'm not sure if I want to upgrade. What we're going to do is we're going to send out an email very shortly that is going to have information on there that will help people, because since the government shutdown happened, we've decided to do two things. And this is Mr. Brown approved. One, even though it's not a big difference, but our membership was $47 a month or $500 for the year. We're lowering it just a little bit to $44, and you'll see that it'll be a whole campaign that'll start rolling out today talking about why we did that. In addition to that, people that are already members are also going to get a discount on being a premium member, because of course we want to transfer you to premium, but we also want to provide more value. So we've done a lot of updates. You'll now be able to sign in with your Facebook and your Google, and you can also enable your personal post feed, where it will help you to bookmark members, follow up with conversations. And one big thing, you'll also have access to ChatGPT right down inside of the Give It, Get It business membership, plus stock images that you can utilize. And if you are a premium member, that means that you can use Pexels, Pixabay, Giphy, Unsplash, all of that inside of the membership. And now we also are going to have some classifieds where you can post things that you just want people to know about. And then, if you want to do your events, you can post SoundCloud in there, and you can also do community articles. So this is going to enable you to do a lot more than you were able to do before. And if you want to post job listings. So we want you to upgrade because we're providing more value. We're adding in more things that when we look at other sites and say, well, what's available? We wanted to make those things available to you. All right. So one, download. All right. Make sure that you go in and that you download our Shutdown Survival Guide, totally, completely free for you. Okay. In addition to that, we want you to find out.
Before I jump right in, I just want to let you guys know that September is typically a month of transformation for me. And since I'm going to continue on the train of transformation, guess what, you guys? Your girls having a conference. And the conference is called the Catalyst Effect, the one-day conference. And it is designed for us to do three core things, right? It's designed for us to collaborate. It's designed for us to build community. And it's designed for us to build community and collaborate with each other so that we can get compensated for the good work that we do. I want women to be business fit and mentally fit for what their next look like. And so that is, if you're ready to get fit, now's your time. Sign up for the conference.
All right, so that is a conference that we'll be curating that is for women, the Catalyst Effect. It will be at the end of the month, and we are 70% sold already. So it's only 30 more tickets, and that was as of this morning when before we started this. So if you're interested, it's going to be in Chapel Hill. It is sponsored by the Shuford program, which is the MBA program, and one of our members, Kenyatta Hall, is the one that is going to be doing that particular conference. So we wanted you to just kind of know that there are things that are happening that are in different areas of the state. Everything's not just in one place, even though Chapel Hill is kind of right down the street from Durham. But if that's something that you're interested in coming to, it is open. We do want to specify that we do want women to come out because this is a women's conference. So go ahead and register now before all of the tickets are sold out. And if we're doing it and curating it, it's going to be a great time. And so she has some things that she definitely wants people to be able to focus on: mission, management, money, mindset. So think about if you need that. This is a free conference for you to come to as well. Now, next up, we also are going to be doing Med Week. So the City of Durham's Med Week starts October 20th through 24th. Okay. And so we're going to be doing our Med Week celebration. So there will be another speaker and we will be panelists, Mr. Brown and myself. This is going to be Mr. Brown's first big everybody. He's on a panel. So I want you guys to come out. I want you guys to give him some round of applause. I want you to, because Mr. Brown does not do a whole lot of speaking. Med Week is something that is throughout the state, but City of Durham's is the 20th through the 24th. So we'll do that. And then we're going to edit this a little bit because LaShawn will be doing the business coaching on the 21st. But then the 22nd, we also have our networking. And then there's going to be a lunch and learn on Friday the 24th. So there are plenty of things that are happening. You can register there with City of Durham because that's not you registering with us specifically, but our networking event. And then the counseling that LaShawn is going to be doing that coaching. Those have separate links, but you will be able to get the information when you go to the website because all of those things should be listed on there. And then you'll see LaShawn's stuff get listed up there today. The next thing I want to let you know about is we're doing our small biz showcase. And so that is going to be November 6th. We do still have space for that. It's going to be at Cantor House in Durham, and it is open only to members to participate as exhibitors. And I have a little head that's missing here, but I had the head because I was waiting. So groundbreaking news, we are going to have, number one, we're going to have our county commissioner, Michelle. She's going to be there, and that's who's up at the top. But in this little blank space, we're also going to have Senator Natalie Murdoch, who is going to be there as well. And so I wanted to just kind of give you that information. So if you said, listen, I'm looking to connect with people and I want to make sure that I'm in with the feds, the city, the state, all of that, this is a great thing for you to come to. Plus, you'll be able to tour Cantor House. There will be food trucks out here, and we will have our businesses that are going to be on display. So if you're a member and you do want to, participate, then you can, go ahead and apply. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to have resources out there for you, but also being able to just showcase the members of Give It, Get It. When I was talking earlier, and Kareem was saying about hiring people, one thing that I know is that our small businesses do not utilize workforce development the way that we could. So we're going to have, we're also going to have one of our state representatives, Zach Hawkins, is going to be there. We're going to have Glenda Morrow from the city, and then one of our members, as well as also one of our sponsors, Latasha Besgatti, will be there at our Workforce in Action Business Luncheon. This is a paid event because you're going to get all the information about being able to hire people and hopefully not spend that much money or do something for free. On the job training is what you're going to learn. And then what we'll do in January is we're going to have a sit down where you can physically sit down and file into workforce development so that your business can hire somebody. But also if you're a service provider and you want to provide services or training to people that need it, that are other companies that are clients of workforce development, we're going to talk about that as well. So we have a lot of great things that are coming up for you. And our goal is to consistently be of value. So there are a lot of things that are happening out in the world that are not necessarily giving you the value that you need. And so we're going to end the year with our new event called Focus Forum. And so this is going to be a thing for you to work on your business. So I'm going to say the word. it says ready to get your shit together for 2026. And if you are, this is going to be the event that will be able to help you. It is going to be a 4-hour event. A little brunch is included. You're going to get a book, a copy of the 90-Day Focus. You're also going to get the training and the networking, so that this way you can say, I have things together for 2026. And so this is going to be a working session for you and your business. And this is how we want to end the year. So I hope that you've enjoyed everything that we are offering over here. And our goal is, again, to consistently be of value to help you get to the marketing and the money that you need for your business. Please go ahead and join it. Gettit.biz now, because now is the time for you to be able to get what you need for your business. Don't let a government shutdown or somebody's negative attitude stop you from doing what you need to do in business. So I hope you've enjoyed this new format. Make sure you always show up and show out, and you continue to give it to the people. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, Tammy.